Welcome to the ranch. Today we are moving all of our cows. This is a part of them, but we've already started separating. I've got a couple loaded up, getting ready to take a load over to another property. But the reason why I wanted to do this video today is to help understand how we do our operation here at Promised Land Ranch. You know, a lot of times people come up to my ranch and they see the number of cows and they wonder, how do you do that? Do you keep all of them here all year?
Hey guys, so I'm sitting in my garden just hanging out, thinking about all the wonderful things that we've been blessed with, but I'm also thinking about all the life changes we've had this year. You know, within a month, I had a son get married and I became a grandmother. That's a lot of change. And with those changes can sometimes come identity changes. You know, I have a new title. I'm a grandmom. I'm a mom. The good thing about me is that I do have Eric to talk to. And Eric and I can talk to one another and we can get through these changes together and we can feel like we can kind of work through what we're dealing with together. But not everybody has somebody, and maybe you don't have someone that you feel like you can talk to or trust. And that's okay, because I think I might be able to help. Therapists listen, ask questions, and they can help you see things from a whole new perspective. They can give you advice and techniques to make positive changes in your life. BetterHelp is the sponsor of today's video, and they're on a mission to make starting therapy easier. All you have to do is fill out the questionnaire, and you are going to be matched with a therapist in as little as a couple days. You can easily switch therapists at any time at no extra cost to you if it's not the right fit. That's awesome, because I want to talk to someone that fits with me and my style. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. Just click the link in the description below or go to betterhelp.com/Bland's Ranch. It's going to be right here. Go there and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Guys, you don't have to deal with all these life changes by yourself. If you don't have your own personal Eric to talk to, you might need somebody. So go ahead, reach out. Don't deal with these things alone. Now, let's get back to the video and see what's going on.
To begin with, we run a cow-calf operation. That means we have a bull, we have mamas, and every year we have little babies that are born here on the property. And that's a lot of head of cattle. So if every mama has a calf, we basically double our operation the moment that they hit the ground. The biggest thing you have to remember about cattle is you've got to feed them. And it's really, really important to make sure that you understand how many head of cattle you're putting on your property. The best thing to do is to reach out to your local ag department in your county and ask them how many head of cattle per acre. And that will tell you, or at least give you a good idea of the amount of cows you should have on your property. Now, here's the thing to remember is that you still have to consider wintertime and what that looks like for you in your region. Here in Texas, we don't get real cold, but we do get really, really hot. And the reason why that's important to know is because our grass does not produce at a certain time through the summer. At a certain point, the grass just basically dies off, turns brown and crispy underfoot, and then you have to start to feed your cows hay. The objective on any operation is to put as little money out as possible. It's all about return on investment. ROI is one of those flashy words that people use nowadays, but there's a lot of truth into it, and running a farm is running a business. You don't want to stockpile animals all through the pasture and then have to feed hay 9 months out of the year, because that's a lot of profit that's basically going down the drain. Early on in our operation, I was looking for property to buy. I just wanted to buy. Thank you, Birdie. I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy as much property as I could, because in my mind, that's how you efficiently run an operation. However, I had a friend of mine that is very good with money, and he had a lot of cattle. And one of the things that he taught me was it's better for you to lease property than it is to buy it. If you have a big bill, then you have to make sure that you're selling a lot. Typically, at least down here in this area of Texas, a lease is consistent of the cost of taxes. Hey, Penny. This is one of my favorite cows right here. She's so gentle. When I started thinking about what that gentleman said, it made a lot of sense. And to know that I don't have a house payment outside of my piece of property gives me a lot more leeway and freedoms to run the operation the way that I really want to, because I have a very low overhead. And that's the goal, again, when you have a business, is to keep the costs down. So today, as we're moving cows around, what we're really doing is transferring these beautiful animals from my property, and it gives me a chance to let my pasture grow through the summer as much as it can, and hopefully into fall, while all the cows are at other people's properties. Here's a trick that I want to share with you. A lot of people in this world do not want to put the work in to have a ranch. They like the concept of a ranch. They like the idea of living on a ranch. They like watching movies on the ranch, but most people don't want to do the work that it takes to have a herd of cows. And this really can be applicable to any animals. So what we've done here on our ranch is we've reached out to other locations that have a lot of grass, fencing, and sometimes the fencing is a little bit rough and we have to go in and correct it. But what I do is I approach them and I ask them if they're interested for me to put a herd of cattle on there, and I will even maintain the fences. Now, from a money perspective, you have to take that in consideration, how much it's going to take to upkeep or to rebuild or whatever it may be. So make sure you look for a good piece of property that has good fences so that you don't have to do a lot of repairs and maintenance. The idea of utilizing other people's property is absolutely amazing. Not because I'm trying to pat myself on the back, but because somebody took time to teach me and show me how to do a good operation. And I want to pass that along to those who are watching this video, maybe those who have a dream to have a big herd. I love the idea of having a big herd. I love even more the idea of having, thank you, Birdie. I enjoy even more the idea of having these beautiful calves every season that I get to watch grow and eventually become mamas for me. This gray one right here is from this one back here. And so we've had the privilege of watching her grow, and she's getting ready to drop a calf soon. So basically we are replenishing our own herd, producing good quality, homegrown, non-fertilized hay and grass product to our customers. And this is what I love to do. So today we are taking several loads out from our property with the idea of supporting older people and sometimes even people that just like to see cows on their property. That's what we're doing today. We're working cattle, putting them through the chute back here, loading them in the trailer, driving them down the road. I'm so privileged that I get the opportunity to do this, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. So let me give you an idea of what one of our pastures looks like, and I may show you another, just to kind of give you an idea of how there are differences of where we are. This pasture is out in the middle of nowhere, and this beautiful. Just look at this view. This is great, isn't it? The dogs back here are not happy that I'm here. The owner is off right now, but that's the kind of relationship we have, to where I can come out, check the cows as I need, and that's what you need, is a good relationship. All the fences look good. All the fences are ready to go. I've been here for a few years. The pasture goes all the way down back in there to the tree line. And let me show you the amount of grass and stuff. I mean, you can see there's lots of grass. Of course, there's weeds because we don't put our cows on areas that are fertilized. It's just our preference, but we try to not give any of the cows any kind of fertilizer, whether it be for hay or for grass. You can even see back here these bushes and trees that are starting to grow. Cows actually love leaves. They'll eat them. They got a lot of nutrients to them. So what's exciting about this property is that they also have a catch pen back here and a gate so that I can load them up at the end of the season. These are things you got to think about when you put cows on someone's property. So one last thing I'll show you at this property, something that's really, really important, And the reason why it's important is because I don't have to rely on anybody to watch the cows. I don't have to ask the owners to go out and look at them. I don't have to keep driving back and forth, which again, you want to maximize your time if they have a pond. Having all these different pieces on the property already have truly been a blessing to us, and I'm so grateful for all of our partnerships. So now I want to do one thing that I do every year, that as I let the cows out, I will take pictures of them or I will video them so that I can send it to the owner. They know exactly which cows they have on their property. There goes the big boy. Little calf. Another little calf. And a mama. There you go. Look at that. They are set to go. This is like summer camp. That's what this is, summer camp. They're going to be here for the summer and potentially into the fall if we separate all of our cows appropriately and kind of even the load out on all the pastures that we have to work with. So because of all the grass here already, we've had a great wet season. And with this piece of property, they actually have a natural spring. So there's always green grass here, which is great. Essentially what they're going to do now is they're going to walk around, they're going to find the pond, they're going to look at all the fence lines and call for their mama that isn't here anymore. I will watch them walk around for a little bit, just make sure they're nice and comfortable, and then we're going to head out, get the next set of cows to the next property. So here we are at our second pasture. The third one is already done. It's a smaller one and it's off the beaten path, so to speak. So that one over there, we don't have the privilege of having as much land as this, but also the stock pond. This is truly, truly a blessing. So you don't have to continue to worry about putting water out. But I know that if I can't get here for weeks at a time to check on them, they're always going to have what they need because they got grass to eat and water to drink. So that's it. That's how we do our herd. It is a big operation, at least for somebody who doesn't do this full time. I have a full-time job. Monica has all the kids to take care of, as well as homeschooling and things like that. So it's all about being efficient with our time. And this is how we do our operation. We let people buy the land, and then we do the work on the land so that they can have ag exempt. And that's a huge thing for a lot of people. As I said earlier, they don't want to do the work, but they want to live in an environment like this. So I'm thankful for that because it's a huge blessing to me, and it's good for them too because they don't have to worry about finding cows and taking care of them. So that's how we do it. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about how we do our operation, but we're really proud of what we've done here in a very short period of time. In 10 years, we've learned how to work cattle, how to work the system, so to speak, and utilize a lot of different aspects that we don't have to pay for, and that's a huge blessing. So we're very thankful for that. Well, that's the end of the day. We've made our last delivery. I've had lots of help. I had to make sure I copied him in here somewhere because this work cannot be done without the help of everybody. So I'm super thankful for my kids, my wife, father-in-law, mom, dad, everybody that's ever been on our farm and has helped work. We're appreciative of everything that they've done. And I can't say thank you enough. Until next time, we're going to go get some air conditioning and enjoy the quiet ride home. Anything? Bye. All right.